we have to use audio. Okay, kasi hindi ko makikita yung chat this way. I only see my slides. I don't see you. I don't see. But para lang I can show you kasi I will give you an approach to studying CNS pharmacology. Now, first of all, do you have questions from last week's assignment, neurotransmitters? Meron ba kayong gustong unahin na ng mga tanong? Meron ba kayong mga tanong?
Wala po, Doc.
Okay, great. Let's proceed. Okay, so remember that, shucks, wala rin palang cursor. Okay, so just to review the course objectives, we have been able to focus on psychiatric history taking, mental status examination, principles of interviewing, you're supposed to master. As for the non-pharmacologic interventions, look at this, just to summarize the psychosocial therapies, just to understand the principles, right? Pagdating sa pharmacology, you're supposed to master, okay? But for this course, hindi ko naman kayo tatanungin masyado ng pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics kasi wala na tayong pagkakaiba sa pharmacology subject, di ba? So, for this particular course, we will focus on clinical aspects of it, okay? Pagdating sa clinical, CNS pharmacology, we usually hinge on neurotransmitters. Okay, so look at this. Summarize indications, basic mechanisms of action, common side effects, drug interactions, the ability to select the medications for treatment. Itong lahat ng ito, ang approach nyo dito will be using neurotransmitters. Okay? That's why I had you review the neurotransmitters. Okay? So, we will be asking for indications, basic mechanisms of action lamang. You're supposed to know, kung ano talagang kalalim-laliman na mechanisms of action. But, ibang exam ang magtatanong sa inyo yun. Pharmacology yun. Okay? So, how will psychiatry, how will behavioral science feel differently? It will feel more clinical. Okay, more application siya. Okay, so we will focus on the following: antipsychotics, antidepressants, mood stabilizers, anxiolytics, anticholinergics. Yung others, makahapyaw lang sa mga ginagamit for medication-induced movement disorders. Okay, mga ganun lang. Let's start. When we talk about pharmacology, we talk about psychotropics. Okay, pag sinabing psychotropic medication, anything that alters the central nervous system. Okay, that's a psychotropic. However, there has always been a problem with the way we name medications because we can call them antidepressants, meaning by the indication antidepressants. Pero minsan tinatawag din silang by the way they are structured, tricyclic. Kasi may 3 cyclic structures or tetracyclic antidepressants. Okay? Sometimes, tinatawag na antipsychotics. Pero yung mga antipsychotics, hindi lang naman ginagamit for psychosis, di ba? Ginagamit din for depression at anxiety. So, magulo siya. Okay? Tapos yung mood stabilizers, actually, technically, anticonvulsants sila. Ang category nila sa pharmacy. Okay, so magulo siya. That is why there is now a modern movement towards nomenclature based on neurotransmitters. So we will start to call them serotonergic or dopaminergic. Okay, ganun na yung movement natin. Okay, so I will ask you from your review of neurotransmitters. Okay, teka lang. Let me pause lang. Teka. How do I go back to... Hi, Dot. Saan ka na yan? Sa... Okay. Klase lang ako, Natutubo kasi ako So, carry mo na ito. Kung gusto, bumili ako ng soft drinks for us, Mahilig kasi ako sa soft drinks. Kung gusto mo lang dito sige lang po mo. Multitasking. Carry mo ganyan habang nagpupunas iniinom ng Pepsi. Can you hear me?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes, po. Thank you for your prompt response. I will need the slides to run again. Teka lang. Start broadcast. Not so broadcast. Okay. Here we are. Okay, neurotransmitters. Okay. So, review. Simulan natin sa serotonergic pathway. Saan gawa ang serotonin? Board exam question yan. Anybody? Saan gawa? Which part of the brain? Or siguro para mas may recitation. Anong functions ng serotonin? Iniisip kayo na physiologic contributions ng serotonin?
Mood.
Mood, good. Ano pa? Yun ang pinakasikat, pero hindi yun ang pinaka-major niya sa totoo lang. And asan siya? Where is, labas tayo sa central nervous system. Where is the majority of serotonin?
GIT.
Very good. So, ang function niya ay?
Digestion.
Yeah, closer, okay, or getting warmer. Would somebody else like to try? Specifically, A, motility. B, secretory. C, hormonal. Inimbento ko lang yun. So specifically?
Motility po, Doc.
Nope. Anong motility? Ano sabi ni Dr. Valero? Siya pa rin ba?
Secretary.
Wala naman.
Secretary po daw.
So nangangasim, yung mga ganon. Parang histamine also, no? Sino sa motility? Anong neurotransmitter sa motility? Uy, anong receptors dun for motility? Ano? Google nyo na. Uy, basic yun. Cholinergic, muscarinic, di ba? Okay, good. Okay, so mood, GI, yun yung functions niya. So sa totoo lang, 80% of it is in the gut. Yung pinaka-importante, kung saan siya pinakasikat, people even make necklaces out of it. Kita nyo ba yun? Ang nerdox ng ganun, di ba? Serotonin yung pendant nila. So, much 15 to 20% is in the brain. Saan siya galing sa brain? Originating mostly from?
Pituitary daw.
Saan? Ayan, minarkahan ko na siya sa slide. Wala kasi yung cursor eh. Kaya rin yung mag-annotate. You can point to it. So it originates from, you can also guess kung saang part of the brain, meaning midbrain, cortex, brainstem, cerebellum. Memorize yun na yun. Ang dopamine saan gawa sa brain?
Graphene affair.
Ha? Again? I think I hear sa
Graphinucleic
letter
brainstem.
ang alin? Serotonin or dopamine?
Serotonin po.
Very good. Okay, so serotonin sa raffinuclei. Okay, brainstem. Ang dopamine, sikat yun. Saan gawa? Maitim siya. Maitim ang dopamine eh. Saan gawa ang dopamine?
Substantia nigra pa, no?
Very good. Substantia nigra. Okay. Okay, so midbrain. O, balik tayo sa serotonin. Na raffinuclei, ayun o, ginawa ko pang ang green eh. Kasi parang start yan, tapos stop doon sa where it has axonal connection. So from the raffinuclei, you have serotonergic pathways, colored red, okay? Going to various parts of the body. I will give an example. From the raffinuclei, you have serotonergic pathways going to the spine, okay, spinal cord. O 50-50 na lang to. Palagay nyo, or base sa na-review nyo, which part of the spinal cord, anterior or posterior? Ventral or dorsal? $50-50 na lang yun.
Ventral pa, no?
How about the others? Anong hula nyo? The answer is dorsal. So anong function sa dorsal horn ng spinal cord? Ang ventral, anong function? So kung ang sagot nyo ay ventral, anong function ng ventral part of the spinal cord? Function.
Motor function.
Very good, motor. Ang dorsal,
Sensory.
sensory. Very good. So, apply natin. Kung meron kayong serotonergic medication, okay, and you know that it passes to the dorsal horn of the spinal cord, you will expect sensory effects. Kaya merong nociceptive effects ang serotonin. Ang antidepressants, hindi lamang siya mood regulation. May pain regulation talaga siya. Pain modulation components talaga siya. Okay? Wala siya masyadong movement. Hindi siya masyado kilala for movement effects. Gets nyo ba? Okay? I want to point out that when you master, which is what you're supposed to do, when you review the serotonergic pathways, alam nyo na dorsal horn of the spinal cord, then you know that it contributes to nociceptive effects. Okay? Pain modulation effects siya. Okay? Hindi masyado sikat ang serotonin. So punta tayo sa medyo mas sikat. Okay, o ito sobrang nito. Madalas tong tatanungin. Review natin. Saan gawa ang dopamine in the brain? Substantia nigra, very good. So midbrain. And then ito sikat to. There are at least 4 of the most popular dopamine pathways. Name some of them or all of them. Can you name me one?
Mesolimbic.
Again? Mesolimbic, very good. Meso kasi midbrain. Di ba ang substantia nigra nasa midbrain? So mesencephalic siya. So mesolimbic, for to the limbic area. Oh, you know the drill. Ano yung function sa limbic area? Anong function ng limbic area of the brain? Diba I said we also review neuroanatomy?
Behaviors and emotions.
Emotion, very good. Limbic area, emotion, sobra yan sa emotional components. So, if you have dopamine effects in the mesolimbic area, okay, so it will have to do with positive symptoms, reward as well. Okay? Ano ba yung reward pathways? Diba parang pleasure, Ganun. So, nasa mesolimbic yun. Okay. Ano yung tinatawag na positive symptoms sa schizophrenia? Review natin yung first prelim nyo. Alin dun sa mga psychiatric symptomatology ang tinatawag na positive symptoms? In schizophrenia, the common symptoms are hallucination, delusion, disorganized speech, disorganized behavior, negative affect. Alin doon ang positive symptom? Multiple choice.
Hallucinations po. Hallucinations po.
Very good. Hallucinations and delusions. Positive siya kasi positive plus. Nandun, meron pero dapat wala. Okay? There are added sensations which shouldn't be there. Hallucinations, may nakikita ko pero wala naman dapat. Paranoid delusions, natatakot ako ng sobra-sobra. Those are mediated by the mesolimbic pathway. Okay? Kasi it has to do with emotions. Takot na takot ako, praning na praning ako, may nagiginig ako pero wala naman doon. Okay, that mesolimbic pathway siya. Okay? Name another dopaminergic pathway. So nakaisa na tayo.
Mesocortical.
Mesocortical, very good. So from mesencephalic region to cortical. So sa may noo, okay, frontal lobe. Ano ulit ang functions ng cortical area? Frontal lobe 'yun, ano? Anong functions doon?
Cognition.
Very good. Cognition. What else? Lalo na yung mga may BS psychology background. Cognition, pinakasikat yun. Executive functioning. What else? Frontal lobe. You also have their personality. Okay, frontal lobe function ng personality. Okay, kaya pag na-lobotomize yun, wala. Parang flat affect, di ba? In fact, yun ang nakikita sa schizophrenia, di ba? Flat affect, parang walang personality, I don't engage, mahina yung may cognitive impairments, okay? Those are what we call negative symptoms kasi may pagkukulang, okay? Kulang sa personality in layman, okay? Or kulang sa affect, flat affect pa nga di ba? Okay, so these are mediated by, so pag pinamultiple choice ko kayo, isipin nyo, ano ba yung aling dopamine pathway ba would likely account for executive functioning, cognition, cognitive functioning, personality. So, mesocortical yon. Okay? Name a third pathway. What's another pathway?
Tubero-infundibular.
Tubero-infundibular pathway, which is also what we call the asan yun dito? Hindi ko naman maturo. Tubero-hypophyseal pathway. Okay, so substantia nigra to the hypophyseal area or infundibulum. Kung naaalala nyo sa first year, second sem, nasaan ba yung infundibulum? Yun yung may parang bulbous parts, di ba? Sa brainstem. Ano yung function ng area na yun? Kung hindi masyado nyo na maalala yung infundibular area, it's also the hypophyseal area. Anong function doon? Anong function sa hypophyseal area?
Hormone synthesis po.
Hormones.
Good. Particularly, let's focus on prolactin. Ano ang dopamine pathway to? So dopamine ang pinag-uusapan. Anong effect ng dopamine sa prolactin?
Hyper po. Increase.
Is it hyper production ng prolactin?
Inhibition po.
Inhibitory siya sa prolactin. Okay? So, ito na. Ano na to? Parang pharma na to. Ganito si Dr. Laila Reyes, di ba? So, if you if you decrease dopamine in the brain, halimbawa, nagbigay kayo ng antipsychotic. Okay, so di ba, dopamine antagonist yon. So if you antagonize dopamine in the brain, so ano yun? Increase or decrease dopamine yun? Ang 50-50 na lang, bilisan natin para makarami kayo today.
Decrease po.
Decrease. Okay, so if antagonistic siya sa dopamine so ang net effect niya, you have less dopamine in the brain. If you have less dopamine, anong effect niya sa prolactin?
Increased.
Increased.
Very good. You inhibit the inhibition. So mag-i-increase yung prolactin. Let's go clinical. Apply natin siya clinically. So, anong itsura ng clinic if you have increased prolactin after giving antipsychotics or dopamine antagonists? How will you apply that clinically? What would you expect clinically? Anong sintomas yun? You have increase in prolactin. Wait. So siguro kulang yung tanong ko. Ano bang function ng prolactin?
Milk production.
There you go. Also, if you have inhibit the inhibition on prolactin, so you increase prolactin, ano yung makikita nyo? Make it a clinical application. So anong effect yun? Milk production, also called
Galactorrhea.
galactorrhea. Very good. Okay, so you could expect galactorrhea in patients. Ano pang isang effect ng prolactin? So that's milk production. Ano pa? Kung babae yung patient, what happens? I said kung babae kasi kahit lalaki kayang mag-galactorrhea.
Sa menstrual cycle po. No?
Very good. So, di ba, pag mataas yung prolactin, kagaya na nag-breastfeed, di ba walang regla? Okay, so, side effect yung parang biglang nag-irregular yung menses after taking antipsychotics. Okay, so again, I'm guiding you through the approach that is based on neurotransmitters. Ganito yung maiintindihan yung, okay, if I give dopamine antagonist, because I know there is a dopamine pathway na tubero-hypophyseal or tubero-infundibular, then you can expect na merong galactorrhea. Halimbawa, may talagang patient ako binigyan ko risperidone. So dopamine antagonist yun. Tapos lumapit sa akin after 4 days. Doktora, ano to? Squirt. Grabe nag-squirt talaga sa akin yung gatas niya. Yun. So hindi siya buntis. Babae naman. Yan. So, okay. Nagulat ako kasi nag-squirt sa akin. Pero hindi ako nagulat sa clinical effect na yun. Okay? So, napag-usapan namin yun. So, we would also expect na delayed yung, magtatanong ka ng LMP, delayed yung menses. Okay? What's the last, 4 lang yung pathways na pag-uusapan natin yun. What's the last pathway?
Nigrostriatal.
Nigrostriatal. Very good. So, saan ba ang striatum?
Basal ganglia.
Very good. So parang kapitbahay lang niya, no? Okay, nigrostriatum. Magkakatabi lang yun. Same area. Okay? Kapitbahay lang niya. Kung anong function doon. You know the drill. Basal ganglia rin siya. The function is
Extrapyramidal symptoms.
very good. Extrapyramidal symptoms, yung clinical effect. Pero ano nga bang function ng basal ganglia? Si
Motor.
Dr. Barbon yun. Motor. Very good. Okay. Particularly, specifically, refinement of motor movement. Diba? Si Dr. Barbon pa rin ba? Ang nagtuturo ng first year kayo? Maybe I'm giving away my age. So si Dr. Barbon, diba, dinescribe niya na may movement tayo. Kung walang basal ganglia, it's coarse movements siya, unsophisticated movements. rough movements. Pero dahil may basal ganglia, it refines our movements. Hindi tayo nanginginig all over the place. Okay? So, kung same example natin kanina, if you give a dopamine antagonist, so ang net effect niya ay decreased dopamine in the brain, ano naman ang effect nun sa striatum, sa basal ganglia? Kasi may importanteng pathway dun. So, anong effect dun? So, you can, nabanggit nyo na kanina, extrapyramidal symptoms. Ano yun? Specifically?
Dyskinesia.
Good. Okay. So, parang Parkinsonian. Okay. Kasi, para nating pag nagbigay ng antagonist, dopamine antagonist, babagsak yung dopamine sa substantia nigra kaysa sa basal ganglia para nating sinimulate ang Parkinson disease. Diba? Ano ba ang description ng substantia nigra sa Parkinson disease? May pallor, diba? Maputla yung substantia nigra. Kilala na gano'n ng Parkinson disease. So, imagine parang sinimulate natin yun by giving medication. Okay. Kaya tinatawag ang extrapyramidal symptoms, tinatawag din na Parkinsonian symptoms. It's exactly that. Okay? Kasi para tayong nag-chemical, it's like we chemically induced Parkinson syndrome, Parkinson disease. Okay? Questions at this point?
Nando.
Clarifications. Ano palagay nyo? Is this helpful in approaching pharmacology or medyo magulo siya? Ano palagay nyo? Let me know.
Okay naman.
Kasi walang kaso. Pwede nyo rin naman i-memorize. Walang kakaso-kaso yun. The best yun. Okay? Kaya lang, yun lang, hindi ko ma-assure yun pag lagpas ng medicine proper. Mas pagdating sa clinics, memorization can only go so far. And this is clinical application kasi. Baga sa clinics, parang nadadramatize sa hospital playlist at sa Grey's Anatomy, napaikot-ikutin talaga kayo ng mga kaso. Okay, so dapat yung understanding natin, kaya niya ng paikot-ikot. Okay, so gets nyo ba? Medyo hindi kasi carry ng memorization yun, di ba? Okay, so see how this works out for you. Okay, example, paikot-ikutin ko na rin. Okay, isip kayo ng substance na may effect on dopamine. So I already mentioned antipsychotics, ganyan. Isip kayo ng substance. Medyo sikat na substance. Illegal. Drugs. Specifically?
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Very good. Cocaine. Ano pa? Can you give other examples?
Nicotine.
Close to... Nicotine ba ay dopamine?
Methamphetamine.
Yun nga eh. Methamphetamine is dopamine. Okay. So, what would you expect? Ang dopamine, ang methamphetamine ba tsaka cocaine, dopamine antagonist o agonist? Papaikot-ikutin ko na kayo.
Agonist.
Agonist. So, kabaliktaran siya ng antipsychotics. Okay? Kabaliktaran siya ng mga risperidone, second generation antipsychotics. So, it's a dopamine agonist. So, baliktarin ngayon natin. Okay? Ano ang effect niya ngayon sa brain? You know the dopamine pathways now. Okay? Will it have, yung pag ano ba, kapag naka-shabu, would you expect galactorrhea? Kapag naka-hit-hit ng shabu, would you expect galactorrhea? Yes, no?
No.
No. Baliktad, di ba? Agonist siya. So, ang taas ng dopamine, inhibited yung prolactin. Okay? Kapag nagagalactorrhea siya, baka nag-withdrawal. Okay? Nag-pull out ng dopamine. Okay? Tapos, similarly also, nagtaas ng dopamine sa mesoaccumbens at saka mesolimbic areas. Okay? So you could imagine, ang taas ng reward. Kaya pleasurable ang dopamine, ay ang meth, di ba? At saka cocaine. Kaya siya pleasurable. Yun yung sinasabing, euphoric siya. Ano yung sinasabing bad trip? Yung sinasabing bad trip, kasi pleasurable siya, pero di ba pwede rin may positive symptoms? Parang may tamang hinala or napaparaming. Bad trip yun. Okay? Pero expected yun. Kasi di ba, para kang nag-simulate ng what psychiatric condition? Yung ang taas ng dopamine sa mesolimbic area, tsaka sa mesocortical area. Can you think of a psychiatric condition? Basically, a psychiatric condition.
Mania.
Wedding mania. Ano pa? Possibly, pero medyo question mark yun. Pero pwede naman. That is a correct answer also. Ano pa? Ano pa? Pwede naman mania. Pero, most clearly, ano? More commonly. It's, okay, schizophrenia. Kaya, yung mga naka-meth, magmumukha silang schizophrenia patients. Okay? And it's just a matter of, babalik ko sa prelims nyo it's just a matter of being able to elicit in the history that it is related to intake of a drug. Pero saktong-sakto siya. Kasi dopamine di ba? So, saktong-sakto siya. It's like simulating schizophrenia. Okay? But schizophrenia is not because of shabu, di ba? Okay? Questions at this point?
Nando.
Okay. So, anong palagay nyo? Kaya ba yung ganitong approach?
Yes, no.
Yes po.
So, para you somehow know what to expect, subukin ulit natin siya next week. Okay? Unti-unti. So, I will ask you about the other neurotransmitters as well. Okay? Tapos unti-unti, we will relate their functions. Neurotransmitter-based tayo. Isipin niyo yung functions ng neurotransmitter na yun. And then we will relate it to how you expect the medications to function also. Okay? So, halimbawa, binigyan ko na kayo ng very, very common clinical examples to, by the way, Kasi ganun-ganun talaga itsura ng, ng mga shabu patients. Okay? Mukha talaga schizophrenia. These are fairly common. So, you will see it in substance abuse. So, it's good you mentioned the extrapyramidal symptoms. Very common din siya with dopaminergic medications. Okay? So, these are the most common conditions that you will apply your dopamine mastery of 2. Okay, so substance abuse. Well, dopamine is also involved in depression. Okay. Most clearly in substance abuse. Okay. Parkinsonism. Kasi parang parang nag-simulate tayo ng Parkinson disease. Okay. ADHD, okay, schizophrenia, impulse control problems. Okay, so yun muna for now, para lang you know how to use your knowledge of neurotransmitters. Okay. Questions at this point?
Wala naman po to.
Meron akong huling question, clinical application. You mentioned shabu at saka cocaine kanina, methamphetamine at saka cocaine. What's the difference? Bonus na to. What's the difference? Medyo malalim na pharmacology yun. So may clue na kayo. Both of them are dopamine. So saan sila nagkakaiba? cocaine affects which other neurotransmitters?
Or epibodo.
Very good. Okay. Samantalang yung meth, medyo mas full, more entirely, more predominantly, siya, dopamine. Okay. Yung cocaine, meron siyang norepinephrine, noradrenergic effects. Oh, so apply nyo ulit. Medyo sikat na yung noradrenaline, di ba? Anong effects ng noradrenaline? Pag mataas ang epinephrine, anong effects nun? Dots, pwede mo ipatong lahat dyan sa table at saka pwede mo gamitin yung box na yun. No? Yung box na makulay, walang laman yun. Oo, kung kailangan mo tanggalin yung nasa sofa. Hindi, para lang maitabi. If you need to. Pero kung iurong-urong mo lang, that's okay. Okay. Yan, tsaka mas madali. Okay, babalikan ko kayo. So, anong effect ng noradrenergic effects? Dali ng tanong yun. Effect.
Fight or flight po.
Very good. Fight or flight. Make it a clinical symptom. Such as, which make it a clinical symptom? Para clinical application tayo. So, fight or flight, naranasan na natin yun. Increased heart rate, palpitations, jittery, agitation, anxiety. Diba? Fight or flight response. So, you could now imagine the difference. So, technically, less swabe yung cocaine that way. Okay? So, again, actual clinical, not me, actual clinical, actual clinical accounts ito. So, sa totoo lang, mas swabe yung methamphetamine. Because, sobrang noradrenergic effects ng cocaine. It's just that, ang cocaine kasi status symbol siya. Pang rich kids siya. Okay, yung meth, medyo poor man's crack siya. Pero sa totoo lang, mas swabe siya. Mas masarap siya. And you now understand why pharmacologically. Kasi, may halo kasing adrenergic effects yung cocaine. Okay? So, yun ang very practical street application nun. Okay? Questions at this point? You have questions?